Hello, good evening everyone. I am Hashanna Nayakar. Uh, Indices, under indices, I thought of targeting our sixth question now. That is also a kind of a type. Okay? Okay, we'll start the session without further delay. Okay, let's start. 64x squared has to be given as 8x altogether square. Okay, with two steps. How? By writing 64 as 8 square times x square. Okay, this is the procedure, right? You are given a equation where 64x squared is equal to 8 square times x square, and the square or the to the power is common to both 8 and x, so 8x altogether square. Okay, and we have to write 64 squared in this fashion. Okay. Okay, under this our first part, 4x square. Okay, when you are given a sum like this, first of all we have to write 4 as a perfect square. Okay, square of a certain number. We know 4 means 2 square. Okay, so we can write instead of 4, 2 to the power 2 or 2 square. And x square. 4x squared can be written like 4 times x squared. Same as we can write 4 times x squared as 2 to the power 2 times x squared. This is what I am doing here. 4x squared can be expanded like 2 to the power 2 times x squared. Why? Because 4x squared means 4 times x squared. Okay. Okay. So after this, we know that square over the to the power 2 is common to both 2 and x. Okay, this 2 is common to both 2 and x. So we can write this 2 outside, the index 2 outside, and combine 2x together like this. So 2x altogether to the power 2 means equal to 4x. Okay, so if 2x altogether to the power 2 is equal, now we will check whether 2x altogether to the power 2 is equal to 4x squared or not. 2x altogether to the power 2, that means 2x times 2x. 2 times 2 is 4, x times x is x squared. We get the same answer. That means 4x squared can be written like 2x altogether to the power 2. Okay. Next question. 25x squared. 25 can be written like 5 squared. 5 times 5 is 25. We can write 25 as a square term. 5 squared. X squared means x squared. Now square or the to the power 2 is common to both 5 and x. So I am going to write to the power 2 outside, and within brackets I am going to write the product of 5 and x, which is equal to 5x. Third question. 16m squared. 16m squared. We can write it as 16 means 4 square. Okay. 4 times 4 is 16. So we can write instead of 16, 4 square. 16m squared means 16 times m squared. So I can write this as 4 times m squared. Why? 16 is equal to 4 square. So 16m squared means 16 times m squared. That means it is equal to 4 squared times m squared. Why? 16 is equal to 4 squared. Now we can write the to the power of square outside the brackets and join 4 and m. So the product of 4 and m is 4m. 4m altogether to the power 2 is equal to 16m squared, or 4 squared times m squared means this power is common to both 4 and m, so we can get 4 squared and m squared, that means 16m squared. If we can write 4m altogether to the power square like 16m squared, same way we can expand 16m squared and add it as 4m all together to the power 2. Fourth question. Okay, fourth question. Fourth question, it is said 64 a cubed. 64 a cubed. Okay, 64 can be written like 8 times 8 or 8 square. 64 also can be written like 2 times 2 times 2 times. Likewise, if you multiply 2 by itself 6 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we can write 64 as 2 to the power 6 as well. Okay, and we can write 64 in this version as well. 4 times 4 means 60. 16 times 4 means 64. That means 64 is also equal to 4 to the power 3. Okay, and we want to write the answer as a where there is a common index. Okay, here the index form of AM is 3. Okay, so what I am going to do is I am going to mark 64 as a power of 3. Okay, so rather than writing 64 at 8 squared or 2 to the power 6, we can make it as 4 to the power 3 or 4 cube. Okay, we can write 64 either in 8 squared way or 2 to the power 6 or 4 to the power 3. Here index of AM is to the power 3. So I am going to write 64 as also with a power of 3. So only base with the power of 3 is 4. So I am going to write 64 as 4 to the power 3. Okay. So we can write 64 as 4 to the power 3 times a to the power 3. Okay. So what happened here is 3 is common to both, power 3 is common to both, and inside brackets we can write the product of 4 and 8. Okay. Fifth question. 3m squared divided by 75. Okay, this is kind of there's a drama going on this particular question. Okay, before making it as a power of certain number, okay, first of all we have to do some simplifications. We have to do some simplifications now. I am going to write 3m squared like 3 times m squared, and 75 can be written like 3 times 25. Okay, 75 means 3 times 25, where 3 is the common factor of both 3m squared and 75. Now I am going to cancel 3 with a 3. Okay, 1 3 and 1 3. I taught you simplification during my previous session, so I am not going to take much time on what I have been doing at the moment to take time in explaining. Okay, so what happened is, yes, the product has 3 and m square. 75 is a product of 3 and 25. So out of the numerators I take this 3, out of the denominator I take this 3. And I didn't take 25 here, I didn't take m squared here as well. Only I simplify 2 3's only. Okay, if we simplify 2 3's, we can't again simplify 25 by cut 3. Okay, so 1 3 and 1. So the answer here is m squared over 25. Is that our final answer? Okay. Okay, it should be something inside the bracket. So how can we write something which is inside the bracket? Okay, with a common power. We can write 25 as a power of 5. So it is m squared and 5 squared. 25 is 5 times 5. So instead of 25 we can write 5 squared. So we can write m squared over 25 as m squared over 5 squared, and this square term is common, so m over 5 all together to the power 2 is the answer. Again, 3m squared over 75. 3 and 75 has a common factor called 3. So there's 1 3 here and 25 3s here. Okay, here 1 3 and 25 3s. Now instead of 25 I wrote 5 squared because 25 equal 5 squared. M squared stays the same. M squared stays the same. And the square term is common to both m and 5. To the power 2 is common to both m and 5. So I wrote to the power 2 outside then m over 5 inside the bracket. So this is how we get the answer. Next. Okay, next is 49 over y square. 6. 49 over y square. We can write 49 as 7 times 7 or 7 square. 7 times 7 or 7 square is equal to 49 over y square, where square or the to the power 2 is common to both 7 and y. So we can write this as 7 over y all together to the power 2. So this is the answer. Next 7. 7th question, again there's a simplification part going on. 18 divided by 2x square. Okay. 18 and 2 can be simplified. 18 and 2 can be simplified. Both has 2 as the common factor. So 1, 2 and 9 2's. So 9 here 9 is the numerator, 1 times x squared is the denominator. We can't simplify 9 and x squared here. Okay, 9 is a number term, x squared means a and algebraic term, so we can't simplify this. Okay, and 1 times x squared means x squared. Now I am going to write 9 as a power of 3. 9 means 3 square. 3 times 3 is 9 or x squared. Okay, 9 can be written like 3 times 3 or 3 squared. X squared means it is very the same. Now we can write squared or the to the power 2 outside, then inside we can write 3 over x, where to the power 2 is common to both 3 and x. So our final answer is 3 over x all together to the power 2. Next question. Next question is 27y cube over 125. Okay, 27 and 125, there is no common factor. There is no common factor. Okay, 125 means if we multiply 5 by itself 3 times, we get 125. If you multiply 3 by itself 3 times, it is 27. Okay, I gave you a table on powers couple of sessions back, maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks before. So I am going to write 27 as 3 to the power 3. Okay, 3 to the power 3 means 3 times 3 times 3, which is equal to 27. So instead of 27 I wrote 3 to the power 3 times y to the power 3 divided by 5 to the power 3. 125 can be written like 5 to the power 3. Why? 5 to the power 3 is equals 5 times 5 times 5. 5 times 5 means 25. 25 times 5 means 125. You can see. So instead of 125, we can write 5 to the power 3 or 5 cube. Now what I am going to do is I am going to take the cube or to the power 3 outside, and inside I am going to write 3 times y, 3y over 5. And this cube or the to the power 3 is common to both all 3 y and 5. So 3 times y, 3y divided by 5 all together to the power 3, where 3 is common to the power common to all 3 y and 5. Understood? We will go to next part now. Okay, we will go to next part. Next part is 3a squared. 3a squared. Okay, 3a squared over 300. Okay, this is there also we have to do some simplification part. Why? There's a common factor to both 3 and 300. That is 3. So we can simplify 3 and 300 by 3. 1, 3 and 100 3s. Now I am going to simplify this. 1 times a squared means a squared over 100. 100 can be written like 10 square. 10 times 10 is 100, and the square term or to the power 2 can be written outside as it is common to both a and 10. So a over 10 altogether to the power 2 or squared is the answer for this particular sum. Next, 27x squared. 27x squared over 12. 27x squared over 12. We know 27 is 3 to the power 3. But the index of x is 2. Okay. So if we write 27 as 3 to the power 3, we might be in trouble. Before that, we can check whether 27 and 12 both has a common factor. Both have a common factor. Yes, Nick. There's a common factor. 27 means 3 times 9. 12 means 3 times 4. 27 means 3 times 9. 12 means 3 times 4. So 3 is the common factor. So we can simplify 27 and 12 by 3. How many 3's are there in 12? 4. How many 3's are there in 27? 9. So we can write 27x squared over 12 as 9x squared over 4. Why? We can simplify 27 and 12 by 3. Okay. Okay, once we simplify this, we can get the answer as 9x squared over 4. Okay. 9 means 3 squared. We can write 9 as 3 squared times x squared. 4 means 2 squared. Okay, instead of 9, we can write 3 squared. 3 times 3 is 9. X squared is there. Instead of 4, we can write 2 squared. 2 times 2 is 4. What happened here is, again I am saying, 27 and 12 has a common factor called 3. Okay, so 27 and 12 can be simplified by 3. 3 times 4 and 3 times 9. Hence we get 9x squared over 4. Then we can write all these 3 terms as squares. Okay, 9 as 3 squared, x as x squared, and 4 as 2 squared. So altogether we can write 3x over 2 altogether to the power 2. This is the answer here. Next. Next is 32 over 50m square. Okay. Again, m has index as 2. Okay, so 32 can be written like 2 to the power 5, but better if we can simplify 32 with 50, because 2 acts like a common factor to both 32 and 50. 50 and 32. Okay, 50 can be written like 2 times 25. 32 can be written like 2 times 16. Here 2 is the common factor. So if we simplify 32 and 50 by 2, okay, 32 means 16, 50 means 25. Okay, so here we can simplify 32 by 4 as well, but 50 cannot be simplified by 4. So only way we can simplify 50 and 32 by 2. So it is 16 over, this is 25m squared. This is the answer we get as the second step. Now we know 16 is equal to 4 squared. 4 times 4 is 16. 25 means 5 squared. M squared means m squared. 25m squared can be written like 25 times m squared. Instead of 25 I wrote 5 square. Now square term to the power 2 is can be taken outside 4 over 5n. This is the answer. Next, let me check how to do the next sum. Next sum is 27y square. Sorry, xii. Next is 27y cube. 27 means what? Okay, 3 times 3, 9, 9 times 3 is 27. So 27 can be written like 3 cube times y cube. Hence it is to the power 3 outside 3. As to the power 3 is common to both 3 and y, we can write to the power 3 out. 3 and y as a combination. Y it's a product, so 3 times y means 3y. Next, xi or 40. 64 m cube. Okay, 64 also can be written like 4 cube. 64 can be written like 8 square, 2 to the power 6 or 4 cube. I gave you it in my list of the powers, and also I talked about this 64 during the same exercise couple of minutes before. So instead of 8 squared was 2 to the power 6, it's better we can take 4 to the power 3. Why? Because the index of m is also 3. So we have to take 4 to the power 3, as 3 is also the index of 4 as well. So I am going to try 64 as 4 to the power 3 times m to the power 3, where index 3 is common to both 4 and m. Next, I think this is the final sum of the 6th question. That is 1000 divided by 27 y cube. Yes, y cube. Okay. There is no common factor to 10,000 and 27. 1000 means 10 cube. Okay, 10 times 10, 100, 100 times 10, 1000. Or if we can write 3 tens after 1, that means it is 10 to the power 3. 1, 2, 3. That means 3 zeros after 1 means it is 10 to the power 3. 1, 2, 3. We can write 1000 as 10 to the power 3. Or 10 times 10 means 100. 100 times 10 means 1000. So there are 3 tens. Has to be multiplied with each other. 27 also can be written as to the power 3 or as a cube. Okay. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So instead of 27, I write 3 to the power 3 times y to the power 3 or y cube. Now 3 is common, to the power 3 or cube is common. Inside the bracket I write 10 over 3y, where if we expand this, 10 to the power 3 comes, 3 to the power 3 comes, y to the power 3 comes. 3 to the power 3 means 27, 10 to the power 3 means 1000. Y to the power 3. Okay, that's it for today's session. I will start talking about the 7th question during the next session. Until then, have a nice day. Bye.